I have no idea why, but I'm feeling so good this
It's
week.
a beautiful spring day.
Well, it's fall.
Thanksgiving.
It's actually fall.
Fall, my
It's
bad.
fall.
It's a beautiful fall day. And you know my favorite holiday is coming up.
Mine too.
Yep. And you
a week away.
I know. You
from
know
Thanksgiving.
Christmas sucks. It's the worst holiday ever.
Well, I'm not going there. I'm just saying I love Thanksgiving.
Well, Christmas sucks. Everybody just wants stuff. And listen, when I'm president of the United States, once you get past 18, you don't get gifts.
All right.
That's the magic cutoff number.
Okay. We'll have much more time to talk
But
Christmas
man,
as it gets closer to Christmas.
Nothing can mess up Thanksgiving.
No.
Shout out to my place, Baby K's. Chuck will be there to get those 2 deep fried turkeys for the 21st
And I'll
straight
deep
year.
fry my own, as I always do.
I just said less dangerous.
It's so much. No, it's not. If you just
Thought.
use your noggin, man.
I actually finally saw that PSA that why, because like 10 people a year burn down their house during Thanksgiving. Listen, damn fools. I'm sorry, that's not polite. Damn idiots. Thaw out your turkey.
Yeah. If you're of a mind to, you could get online and check out some deep fried turkey fails video compilations.
I don't even realize.
And you won't believe some of the stuff
But I
you
don't
see.
even understand why you would throw a frozen turkey in there.
Yeah.
I know has zero common sense. I know that's going to shock people. I know you would not put a frozen turkey in a frying thing.
Yeah,
That's just stupid.
it is. So that's lesson number 1. Once you've mastered that, the rest is pretty easy. All right. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
That's good. I can't wait.
I gotta say something, though.
It was kind of nice to have a little break.
That was great.
We just had a little.
We don't call it break.
We just had a little
just
2-week
time
break.
off. Well,
We just had a little 2-week break.
It was a week.
Well, we had last week off.
Yeah, that's a week.
But we haven't done this in 2 weeks.
Okay. I thought you were talking about just not going to work. Because anytime you get a day off work, it's always great.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Now, what's on your mind? Is this part of First of All?
First of all?
Yeah. Can this fit into First of All?
We can go. I got some good stuff.
We're off to a flying start.
So I'm going to start like I always do on a couple sad notes. And I really feel bad because this guy's never probably gotten the recognition he deserves. He passed away. They glossed over it. And nobody said anything. Walter Davis. Walter was just a nice man. I mean, obviously, he was a hell of a player.
The Greyhound. But just a nice man. And it was so glossed over because he'd been out of the limelight for so long and he hadn't been, he wasn't on television and things like that. So out of sight, out of mind. But I just want to give my best because, man, I met Walter so many times, man, and hell of a player, but just a nice person. And he didn't seek the limelight, and he was just a humble kind of
guy, and a great player
who happened to be a heck of a player.
And now, obviously, this guy here, it's interesting. The media, they want me to bash this dude. Hey, Bobby Knight, one of the greatest coaches ever. I'm not gonna bash Coach Knight because number one, he was a genius. Did he make some mistakes? 100%. None of us are perfect. But strictly from a basketball standpoint, that man was a great, great coach.
Didn't he cut you?
He cut me and
from
the Olympic team.
Yeah.
And I should have made the team. But what's interesting about it, I said, okay, it's all good. Because going to the airport that day was me, John Stockton, Karl Malone, and Terry Porter. So
all of you had gotten your walking papers?
All of us got our walking papers. And like I say,
wow.
I felt like well, no doubt in my mind, I should have made the team. But for some reason, he didn't like me.
What were your interactions like with him?
We never had any bad interactions, to be honest with you. He just, John Thompson, he really was influential after the Olympics because he called me and my coach, Sonny Smith, and said, I deserve to make the team. He said he thought I was the second best player there, which I think I was too. And what's funny about that story later, rest in peace, John Thompson, one of the best people I ever met. And Coach Knight, rest in peace. What's really funny about that story is Sonny calls me. He said, hey, John Thompson want to talk to you. Come to my office at this time. And we put him on the speaker. And John says, hey, I just want you to know, you should have made the Olympic team. Bobby just didn't like you. He never gave us a reason. He just didn't like you, which is fine. He said, but you were the second best player there. I said, Coach,
who was the best?
Well, I'll tell you the rest of the story. So he's out the coach. That means a lot to you taking the time. So I hang up the phone. We hang up the phone. He says, who's better than you in college basketball? I said, there's a guy better than me. His name is Michael Jordan.
Yep.
I said, Coach, let me tell you something. It's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Because on that, what people forget, we started out with like 120 players before we got down to the finals. And we went, and so we were together for an extended period of time. And like, there's probably 50 Hall of Famers was there during that time.
Yeah.
And we made it down to the final cut. But we started like at 120. So we played against these guys for like a week. And I was like, man, this is like a who's who. And I was probably the least known guy there, to be honest with you, because, I wasn't well known at that time. But man,
you were probably more well known than John Stockton at that time.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, my roommate was actually Steve Alford.
Really?
Yes. And Steve, and I got to know Coach Knight's son, Pat, who's still good friends with me today. I love Pat. I reached out to Pat, tell him, man, I'm sorry for his loss. Because, like Coach Knight, like I say, he's flawed like all of us. He's a hell of a coach. But it was funny. I was like, Sonny says, I got to do some research on this Michael Jordan. I said, don't worry about it. He's coming.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was impressive. So that was my two sad notes. Rest in peace to Walter Davis and Coach Knight. Ernie, I love sports. There's so much good. We get beat over the head with so much bad. But there's a couple things that happened in the last couple of weeks, man, make my heart feel so good about sports.
I can't wait to hear. I love these.
Josh Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Dobbs. 2 weeks ago, Josh Dobbs was playing for my Arizona Cardinals. He gets traded on a Tuesday, which is the trade deadline. Don't know any plays.
Traded to the
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Does not know anybody on the team, don't know the plays, don't know the player's name. The starter, Kirk Cousins, get better soon, blew his Achilles out a little bit. The starter gets hurt in the first quarter with a concussion.
This is a game against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes. This kid comes off the bench. He says, I don't know any of the plays. He says, we'll teach him as we go. And he plays great. And he's a great kid. I've only met him one time. Met him on a plane one time. And then secondly, this week he did it again at home, and they're like, well, last week he didn't have time to be nervous or, whatever. He comes back out and did it again.
That's
so shout
tremendous.
out to Josh Dobbs. Man, you make me proud to be a Jock.
Seizing the opportunity, Chuckster. And
being ready for it.
Yeah.
See, a lot of these guys say they're ready, especially in the NBA. They're like, well, when they play me, I'm going to be ready. Like, yeah, it's a little different when you go in there when they're using real bullets. Like, that ain't like, you can talk all the trash you want to. If you're not ready when the coach calls you, it's fast.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago, Eric Van Rooyen, I think that's his name, won a
Van
golf.
Rooyen.
Van Rooyen.
Yeah.
He won a golf tournament.
He's a South African.
Yes. And to see him and his caddy crying was, man, because they got a friend
Yeah, like a college teammate.
Teammate, yes. Yeah. And to see the emotion that they showed, man, it just made my heart feel so good to play sports. And then, just when I think it couldn't get better, Camilo Villegas this week. And if you don't know the story, his young daughter died like a year ago. And he'd been just obviously, the kid, I think, I forget what disease she had, but she battled, but she died like at 2, if I remember correctly. And he had been up and down in his golf game.
And he was right in the hunt in that tournament that Van Rooyen won.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he came back and won this week. And man, to lose a young kid and try to still raise your family and play professional sports has got to be one of the crazy, and like, he hadn't been relevant on the tour for X amount of years.
Yeah, he'd been forgotten.
And the last
people only remember because he had that crazy way of reading putts when he was down there like a spider.
Man, shout out to Van Rooyen and Camilo Villegas and Josh Dobbs. Man, y'all are an example what's great about sports.
I know we get beat over the head with negativity. I mean, unfortunately, that's the society we live in today.
Right.
But man, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah. And you know what? Oh, go ahead. It's still your segment.
Yeah, I want to say this. I take my word really serious when I'm on the podcast and I'm on television because I think it's really important to be honest, be sincere. I'm not going to address the Michigan situation, and I'll explain why. If I get on here and bash Jim Harbaugh, I don't know all the parameters, number one. But also, we went through the same thing with Cam Newton at Auburn. And that fool killed our trees. Rest in hell. I meant rest in hell. That's what I meant. But I don't want to get on here and bash Jim Harbaugh in Michigan because it's kind of the exact same situation Auburn was in when they had all those allegations, and we can say if it's true or not, but Auburn ended up winning the national championship. So I don't want to be a hypocrite and say, hey, get rid of Jim Harbaugh. He should be this, should be that. Because like I say, if I'm going to be fair, and I try to always be fair when I'm on this thing or on our show, it was the exact similar situation with Auburn and Cam Newton, and we won the championship.
What exactly are they accused of doing? Because I've heard about this guy who was at the games and he was videoing it, and then it's like, well, he never asked us for tickets or we never sent him anywhere. What can you do? What are you allowed to do in college football in terms of
I think
scouting opponents?
Listening and talking to guys, everybody's doing it, number one, but you got caught. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't come back and say, well, other guys are robbing banks just because you got caught. So is something not right clearly? Are they out to get Jim Harbaugh? I think there's some truth in that because he kind of did them early in the season like, hey, screw you guys. We'll sit out a couple games and I'll come back, which he did. Like I say, I never want to get on here and be a hypocrite, so I'm going to let it play out and keep my opinion to myself.
Okay. Hey, one other thing, just on the positive side of sports and things like that to make you feel good. Shout out my daughter Maggie.
Yes.
At Beaufort High School because she staged the second annual unified softball game where her students, she's got the special needs class at Beaufort High School. So her Special Olympics athletes had a softball game. They split up the class, two sides. Some of the student athletes at Beaufort High School took the night to come and be part of it. So it's a unified effort. Help them run the bases, everything else.
That's special.
Played 3 innings, had a
brings joy to your heart.
A character race. You had little kids singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." It was an awesome, good for the soul night for the second straight year. So shout out to
So let me get this straight.
Maggie.
Your daughter is, you know how I feel about teachers.
Yes.
You know, teachers are amazing, especially Maggie in special ed. And your dad was a Marine.
Yeah.
And you just a lowly sportscaster?
That's exactly right. And my wife's a world changer. So how about that? I just outkicked.
Why are you here?
I so outkicked my coverage.
Why are you here, Ernie?
I know you're trying to tweak me, and it doesn't work.
I'm trying to tweak you by spewing facts at you?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody in your family is successful, and you're a lowly sportscaster.
Yeah, you know why it's not going to work? Because I'm in such a good mood right now. And and one of the reasons I'm in such a good mood.
Why is that?
And I haven't even brought this up to you. And I don't think you realize it.
What?
This episode of The Steam Room is our 100th.
100?
Our 100th episode. Is that huge?
Man, that I tell you what, that's impressive.
Or that was one of the weakest confetti cannons.
Hey, that was so weak.
Don't you have to pull that thing or push it? Here, throw me that bad boy.
Okay. Ernie, you're gonna put somebody's eye out.
Hopefully yours. This is a non-working.
Be careful, Ernie.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hey, it's 100 episodes. Hey, woo, hey.
Congratulations, Ernest.
Congratulations to you, Chester. Man, here.
100 episodes.
And you know what's cool? we have some video messages from folks who have been made aware that we are now celebrating 100 episodes of the Steam Room.
Okay.
Can't wait to see them.
Let's do it.
Chuck and Ernie, my guys, 100 episodes. Congrats. I'm so honored to have been asked on your show. The first 100, I hope there are 1,000 more. You guys are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Both of you are role models. Both of you are inspirations, and I'm proud to call you my friends. Congrats, guys.
How about Rex Chapman?
One of my favorite people.
Yes, indeed.
One of my favorite people.
He was probably season 1 we had Rex on, I'm thinking.
I think he was season 1, but he's still he's one of my favorite people. And he's hilarious.
He is. Good dude.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Thank you, Rex. Appreciate that. I think we have more. Next one.
Chuck and Ernie, now we're doing congratulation videos for 100 podcasts. What, is that like a participation trophy? Okay, I'll go along. Congratulations, guys, on 100 episodes. And I'll even send you a ribbon to go with it.
Cubes. You know, Mark, man.
That's hilarious.
First of all, I consider him a friend.
I love that.
And, you know, we are participating trophies now. 100 episodes, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not like saying, hey, they just did their 5th. But still, I think probably some folks out there have more than 100 pods under their belt, but who knows?
I'll be surprised. It's only top of the line going to have more than 100.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, no riffraff going to have 100.
No, this is true.
Yeah.
Next.
Chuck and Ernie, 100 episodes of the Steam Room. Congratulations, guys. What a milestone. Chuck, just stop avoiding me on the golf course. I've texted you like 200 times asking you to golf. Ernie, I don't know what this guy's doing, but he is scared of me on the golf course. And I suck. I'm a terrible golfer. So I don't know what's going on. Miss you guys. Hope you have me again soon. I don't know, sometime. I live right down the road, Chuck, so let's get to it. Love you guys. Congratulations.
Quit ducking J.J. Watt,
Well,
will
first
ya?
of all-
Quit ducking him.
First of all, I'm sick of him saying I'm ducking him.
Yeah, well, obviously, you play anybody. Why are you not playing him?
Well, he's got a job now. And so he's ducking me, and he can't beat me. I'm sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You
so
guys had that conversation when we were doing the match one year.
we've had that. And so he's right. We started texting each other trying to set it up. And, you know, last year, I'm trying to get him to come to Tahoe. I think he'll be great in Tahoe. But last year he came up with some lame excuse like he had a wedding. I'm like, it wasn't your wedding. He could have came.
Yeah.
But man, thank you, JJ. And I need you, brother. I want you bad.
All right. I think we have one more.
Hello, Charles. Hello, Ernie. It's Jimmy Kimmel.
Wow.
I'm being groomed right now and thinking about you and your 100th episode of your podcast. Many said it wouldn't make it to 10 episodes. Actually, I'm the one that said that after being on it, but it did. You're at 100. Congratulations. Here's to 10,000 more.
You know,
I don't want to do 10,000 more. Thank you, Jimmy.
He was one of my favorite guests because he was talking about, people always talk about overnight sensations. And he talked about all the crap towns he was in before he finally was really successful. Because people always look at the finished product. One of my good friends is Darius Rucker. And he always talked about his band came out of nowhere. He says, man, we have been playing forever. And then we finally got a big hit that hit. But there's no such thing as an overnight sensation. People like Jimmy, man, but when he was telling about, if I remember correctly, he said, I was in Nebraska. I was somewhere down in Florida.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
He was all over the place. But people always think he just woke up one day and he had the Jimmy Kimmel show. I'm going to take him up to, he always invite me to Idaho to go fishing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't like the fly fishing thing. It's just,
expand your horizons a little bit there.
Yeah, I like
Renaissance man.
I like to sit there and drink beer and we'll look for the little sucker to go down under the water. You know, I'm a drinker. I'm a drinking fisherman. I'm not out there like trying to be.
You're not going to be out there in those hip waders and
no.
I'm
not trying to be all Logan Martin. Is it Logan Martin?
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin. Okay. Okay. That's the lake. That's the lake in my hometown, Logan.
Okay, so that's kind of an extended first segment. Thanks to all the guys who
took
the time to record those nice
JJ's
messages.
doing a good job on TV, too.
On our 100th.
JJ's doing a good job on television.
Our 100th episode. And I want you to think about something now, Chuck. For an episode this auspicious, our 100th, don't you think it requires an extra special guest who's going to join us in the next segment? And you have no idea who it is.
Yeah, I didn't like that when I saw the sheet.
What sheet?
I got the thing that Rabbit says, a surprise guest.
Yeah. But it's our 100th, but it didn't say on the sheet.
No, it didn't tell me who it was.
This is our 100th episode.
It did not. But
so I want you to think. I want you to think top 3 in your mind. If any of your top 3 who would be on this podcast on our 100th episode, I want you to get that person in mind. We'll see if perhaps your dream comes true when we come back.
Let's do it.
We welcome you back to this festive episode of the Steam Room.
I'm pumped now.
This 100th episode, we had those nice congratulatory videos that were sent our way.
But now we got something big.
And I hope that you have been thinking, like on your wish list, and I told you like your top 3, who would the guest be that you would want to have on our 100th episode?
Well, you know I'm trying to get President Obama on here.
I know that.
Shout out Reggie Love. Get it done, Reggie. We need President Obama on the podcast. Well, is this person a female or a male?
No hints.
Because, Sally Field was hard to beat.
Yes.
Yeah, she was hard to beat. Can I get any hints?
No, I'm just going to say this to you. I hope this meets your criteria. Let's see the guest. Oh, the legendary longtime producer of Inside the NBA, Tim Kiely, on episode number
Hello, boys.
Hey, let me tell you something before we go any further.
Are you disappointed, Chuck?
Hey, no, I'm not disappointed because I got to tell this story.
I know, but let's say hello first.
No.
Let's say hello to TK. You know what?
I got to tell you.
No.
I got TK. I got to tell this story to the world.
Retirement is really looking good on you, TK.
He just got back from Iceland. He just got back from Iceland.
I know where people are evacuating.
I started earthquakes there.
I guess you spend all your time just rearranging the Emmys in the background?
Yes, I do. Dusting them off, Ernie,
Yeah.
Hey, having all those Emmys in the background, as they say, that's just a gross display of power.
Yeah.
Well, it's all I got left, Chuck, especially when I see what's happening to the production value, Ernie, of our show. I mean, the pop gun doesn't work.
Oh, those were.
It would have worked if you had been in the studio. First of all, being sitting home, fire somebody, TK. Fire somebody for making that not work.
Yeah. Yeah, our confetti cannon operators are looking for work. So TK, it's wonderful to see you. You were part of this podcast from the beginning for the first 4 seasons, and now we're in season 5. Now we've got 100 episodes, and now we got this unbelievable story from Chuckster. This is awesome. Tell this in all of its glory, Chuck. This is tremendous.
Let me start it. And I will stop, Chuck. I got a text. The biggest game of the week 2 weeks ago was the Cowboys and the Eagles. And I got a text from Chuck saying, do you want to see the Eagles game?
No.
You want to see the Eagles? You want to see the Eagles?
Do you want to see the Eagles?
That's what you said.
Yes.
That's it. And I said, okay, I'm in. And I go ahead, Chuck.
So the Eagles, you know that's my band.
That's your favorite
band. So they were here.
So for you folks at home, there's a Philadelphia Eagles who are a football team in the NFL.
Who play on Sunday.
And there's the Eagles who are a legendary Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band.
So I sent TK a text, I think Thursday. It was either Thursday or Friday. I think it was Thursday. I says, hey, you want to go to see the Eagles Saturday? He like, count me in. So I fly.
And you tell him you will take care of his accommodations.
Yes. I said, So I'm flying to Atlanta the day before the concert.
Where were you? Were you in Phoenix?
I was in New York.
Okay.
I was in New York. So I fly to Atlanta Friday. I said, hey, he says, what I do for accommodations? I said, I'll get you a hotel room. He says, oh, that's perfect. So I get a hotel room. He calls me about 1 o'clock Saturday. Hey, they don't have
the day of the concert.
The day of the concert. He says, they don't have a reservation. I said, I handle that personally. So I said, I'll be right down. So I leave the condo, go down to the front desk. I said, hey, my friend said he was down here trying to check in.
Here in Atlanta at the Four Seasons.
Yes, where the concert is. I says, yo, man, where are you at? He says, we just landed in Philly. I'm at the Four Seasons. I said, wait a minute. You just left Atlanta to fly to Philly. I said, TK, the Eagles concert is tonight. He says, I thought you meant the Eagles game.
TK, this is ridiculous, TK. This is
hold on, Ernie.
This is along the lines
there were a few
when he was talking to Mike Fratello and thought he was talking to Steve Fiorello and wouldn't. Okay.
Oh, it beats that. It beats that. I'm out $1,200 of a plane fare, so there you go. Hey, Ernie, I sent him text saying I'm flying in. He doesn't. No, respond.
You said
you don't even read your text. You don't even read your text.
So you could have short-circuited this if you had read his text and said, "I'm flying in."
He could have said, "Well, where are you flying? Where are you flying to?"
Yeah.
No, I think no. Okay, I probably wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize you were.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I wouldn't text you to come to another state to see a concert. In fairness, yeah, I was like,
I was thinking it was a football game. I was all set to be sitting in a box having a beer.
That's another day too. The football game's on Sunday. I said, dude,
wow.
I said, oh my God. I was laughing so hard. I said, yo, man, where are you at? He says, we just got to Philly. I said, TK, the concert's in Atlanta.
That is, TK, I would just love to have seen your face when you
should have seen Mars' face, Ernie.
Oh, I'll bet.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Hey, on the anniversary of the 100th show, there's an anniversary I wanted to bring up. I figured you'd have a story or two, Chuck. Go ahead, Cap, roll it. It was 1979 on this day. Our friend, Daryl Dawkins. He was a monster.
He was a monster.
Chuck the Thunder.
Chuck, you played with him, right? How long did you play with him?
Just a year. He was, rest in peace, one of the nicest men. Always in a good mood. Always was dressing different, as we would say, because he was very colorful on his outfit. But a gentle giant, a nice man. It was an honor and a privilege to be a casual friend of his. But Chocolate Thunder was awesome, TK. He was flat out awesome.
Do you remember that he named that dunk the Chocolate Thunder Flying, Robazine Crying, Teeth Shaking, Glass Breaking, Rump Roasting, Bun Toasting, Wham Bam Glassmaker that I am.
Amen.
Look at TK doing research, man. He's retired, but look at him doing research.
I guarantee you.
And coming to the pod prepared.
You know, somebody got that for him.
Coming to the pod
TK,
prepared.
once you ask him to come clean, somebody got that for him.
Just remember this. Come to the pod
I'm the guy that went
prepared.
to Philadelphia to see the Eagles. I'm the guy that went to Philadelphia.
That is so unbelievable, TK. I just love that story. That's
that takes over for the Fiorello Fratello story. Thanks for getting me off the hook with Fratello.
No problem, Chuck. I'm glad to serve. Glad to serve.
As my boy Roy Green says, once you get up in the morning, your day complete, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Hey, Chuck, I just wanted to get your reaction to something. You know where I can get $76 million?
Well, you got to get a job, don't do very well, and get fired. You know,
you think it's a little much?
I think that's the way, I don't understand. And this is not the first time I'm saying this. I don't understand these buyouts. I really don't. Coaching is the only job where you can do a bad job and get fired and still get a buyout. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's fair to the university.
I really don't. I think they need to do something about it. The money's it's coming from somewhere. They could be doing more for the sports program or stuff for the university. Now you look at Texas A&M. They're gonna get this man like $75 million to sit at home, but they probably gonna have to pay more than that to bring a new coach in. And it's coming out of some program, whether it probably coming out of some of the women's programs, in fairness and honesty, because they're not gonna do anything to football and basketball, but to lose a couple $100 million, that money could have been well spent on women's sports and things like that.
Of course, you guys are talking about Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M.
But man, making all that money for sitting doing absolutely nothing, that's crazy. And I just don't understand this whole buyout thing. When you get fired, you get fired.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Well, how many years did he have left on his contract?
Under 10, Ernie. They extended it once.
Well,
so
look,
it was like,
if you're going to sign a guy to that kind of money and you're going to fire him early, the reason he signed the extension is because that was guaranteed money.
Yeah, I don't understand the extension either.
Well, then you got to go back to that part of the equation. But it's not Jimbo Fisher's fault. Well, Texas A&M said, "Hey, please sign here," and he did, and now they said we don't want you.
You know my rule about I don't think we should ever say somebody should get fired.
Right.
That's always been my rule. Because I think it's wrong to say that, but somebody should get fired. Somebody should get fired other than Jimbo Fisher for giving him that contract.
Okay, and there you go.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, don't blame Jimbo.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that contracts like that should be limited to the X amount of years. That's just my personal opinion. I'm going to limit you to X amount of years. It can be 4 or 5. And a lot of coaches, and I have no problem with this, if you have success, it will roll over another year.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, would be a fair way to do it instead of giving guys that much money for – nobody deserves a 10-year contract because sports are too fluid. Sports are way too fluid just for you to assume that.
But it's an interesting thing because if you don't offer him that big a deal, okay, I'm going to go somewhere else.
But somebody
will do it. But if you say there should be a limit,
no,
look,
but
the most you can offer somebody is this.
No, I don't mind the money, but I'm saying
years wise.
Years wise.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you have success, you roll it over.
So if you're on a 5-year deal and we're rolling that over again.
If you have success.
Yeah.
But if you're not successful, we're not extending you. That's what my problem.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's the kind of deal TK had when he was here.
I don't know why
he
just rolled over and over and over. Yeah.
Over and over and over. Hey, speaking of embarrassing moments, Ernie, Chuck, did you guys see any of the Manning cast last night?
No, I did not.
I did not.
No, I did not.
Well, we all know Charles's choice of underwear or lack thereof.
Yeah.
We still going camouflage?
I'm still going
camouflage.
I'm still going camouflage. No draws, Ernie.
Camouflage?
Yeah.
That's what he used to say, camouflage?
Comanche.
Comanche.
He's going Comanche.
Yeah, I told you. I burned the draws.
Not commando, not Comanche, not camouflage.
Told you. Burn the draws.
So what happened now, TK?
Patrick Mahomes admitted that he wears the same pair of underwear every single game of his career, and he only washes it when he loses.
Oh, my goodness.
So he wears the same drawers every game. And you know how often they lose. That's the only time he washes it, Chuck. Any thoughts?
He got to be a funky dude then, because they don't lose that often.
Man,
Pat got to be not minty fresh. Why wouldn't you? Well, you got to wash your drawers. Not that I have any, because
I know.
That's got to be a little crispy after a game.
Yeah. It could really use a loss. Man, I was a little uncomfortable in the pocket today.
Hey, the guy.
Man, I hope we lose.
The guys next to him. Like, hey, I'm trying to be a team player, but we need a loss desperately.
Yeah,
The guy next to him be like, yeah, man. Hey, guys, let's get a loss.
Hey, it's 4th and 6. Overthrow, please, please. Yeah. Anyway,
you guys are beautiful. Well, congratulations on 100 podcasts.
Hey,
pretty cool, man. You've been here the whole time, brother.
Yeah. Appreciate you, TK.
Well, same here, Ernie. And I just want to thank you guys for everything that you've always done. And I don't know if you can help me. I'm looking for Frank Sinatra tickets in Brooklyn. If you guys know where to get any.
Hey, I got you for any Eagles concert.
Yeah.
I got you. I call my boy Deacon Fry. Tell you what, man, they put on a hell of a show.
I know you love the Eagles. Yeah. You really do. And TK, now that I look at this shot and it's so nicely framed, but I did see a memo from WBD that said they were missing a microphone, and that if anybody sees the microphone, they need to have it turned in.
Nothing to see here, Ernie. Moving along.
You're the best, DK. Great.
Love you, brother.
You guys are the best. Sorry I didn't make your top 3, Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Hey, you were number 7. Don't forget.
All right. Hey, I can't wait for December 12th, Ernie, or December 14th, is it?
Yes, yes, indeed, as a matter of fact.
The induction.
December 12th, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
See, I'll be there on the 14th, Ernie.
Yeah, there you go.
Love you, brother.
Hey, it's in New York.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Chuck and Ernie in the steam room. Come and join us in the steam room. Chuck and Ernie in the steam room. Leave your towel on in the steam room.
Chuck and Ernie in the steam room. Chuck and Ernie in the steam room. Leave your towel on in the steam room.
You do get great joy out of listening to yourself sing along with the thing.
Ernie, it's not my fault. Yeah. I'm probably the greatest living karaoke singer in the world.
This has been such
I got a new one now.
A new karaoke, a go-to karaoke song?
Heaven by Kane Brown.
That's your go-to?
Right now. I just tried it out. I need a little work because I just did it for the first time publicly.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When was this and where was this?
I got a place called Ernie's. Actually, it's called Ernie's, believe it or not.
Do you really?
Yeah. And
do you get emotional when you go to Ernie's?
No, I was like, damn, I can't get away from this guy. Yeah,
where is Ernie's?
It's like a couple blocks of my house in Scottsdale.
Wow.
They have a whole, like, it's like a regular bar and a karaoke lounge side by side, and I like to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been listening to Kane. So I'm going through this country music stage in my life.
But you've always liked country music.
I have, but that's all I'm listening to right now. You know, I saw Chris Stapleton a couple months ago, and he was amazing. But then between, I've been into Dan and Shay for the last couple of years. But Kane Brown.
It's called Heaven?
Heaven.
Give us just a little taste. Give us 10 seconds.
People talking about heaven like they just can't wait to go. But I can't think any place I'd rather be than right here with you, baby. I think that's it.
Wow, that's absolutely stunning. All right, so.
Everybody's talking about heaven like they can't wait to go.
This is like a.
I don't even
know what kind of. Are you really going to do it like that when you're karaoke and like you're whispering it, like it's this breathless version?
It's a love song.
Well,
it's not something you just belt out.
I bet Kane Brown, when he sings it, has a little more oomph to it than that.
Yeah, but
or else it wouldn't have been a hit.
That's a good point.
Good, thank you. This has been such a fun day. We're celebrating this great episode number 100.
Thank you. We had for the people.
We had some confetti cannons that didn't work.
Yep, that's true.
There's one more.
You're gone, whoever job that was.
I think we have one more. Let's see that. Wow. Oh, dog my cats. That one worked. That one worked.
That one definitely worked.
That was some projectile. Hey, I think we've got an opening for a camera operator here too. Wow. Man, that was...
We were going to keep getting it till we got it right.
Yeah, well, that one was right. That was a good shot, E. That was tremendous. All right. So, now it's time for Chuck's answering machine. You know the number, Chuck?
I don't.
404-987-0333.
3.
0.
Okay.
Couldn't even get one. 404-987-0330. Call number 1.
Hello, world. This is Charles Barkley. Leave me a message.
Hey, fellas. It's Stav here, original loyal steamer. Proud to say that I was listening from episode 1 all the way to 100. A big congratulations to you both on reaching this milestone, especially you, Ernie. I know you and some of the Turner folks had to convince Chuck, in spite of his skepticism, that recording a podcast would be fun and informative, and I'm sure at times therapeutic too. Now, speaking of congratulations, I'm curious. What's the best or strangest congratulations message or gift you've ever received? All the best for a great season. Stav.
You know, he's probably my favorite person. You know,
your favorite person in general
who dealing with the podcast.
Okay.
Because
favorite caller on the
caller because
yes.
he's been here from day one.
Yes.
And even though he lied to us about the beer, we've never gotten it.
Supply chain. Supply chain issue.
Okay. That's nice try.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I guess we probably got to go to his country.
Yeah.
And he gonna buy drinks. But we appreciate his support from day one. Strangest gift.
Strangest congratulations gift. I don't know. That's a
really
tough
good,
one.
That's a really good question.
I liked the calls today. Those were fun. Everybody took them in their, like Jimmy was like, "Hey, I didn't think you guys would make it to 10 episodes," and that's after being on the episode. And Cuban, really, we're doing this, our participation award. So, no, those are good. I like the tongue-in-cheek congratulations.
Because
awesome.
The podcast staff says something. Yes, when we first started this thing, I thought it was stupid as hell. Correct. But it's actually turned into one of the more enjoyable things I've done. The people we have talked to have been amazing. And what's really crazy and weird, I do a couple of people podcasts who I like. I don't do anybody podcasts who I don't like, obviously. But I've actually never listened to a podcast. And I've done, obviously, 100 of hours.
Yeah.
But I've probably done another 30.
I would say at least.
Yeah, at least 30. But I've never actually listened to a podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's really interesting. Here's the next call.
Hey guys, it's your second favorite school teacher, Mr. Richardson. Ernie's daughter is clearly your favorite. I still shamelessly steal elements of Inside the NBA and use it in my classroom writing show. Come to congratulate you on episode 100. I've been listening since the beginning, and it's such a great milestone for you guys. Congratulations. I got 2 kids in college now. My son's at the University of Buffalo. My daughter's at Penn State, so I'm on the road a lot and happy to have you guys back for another season. I have a question, though. You're both Hall of Famers, basketball legends. And I'm sure you get asked questions all the time about playing in and covering the NBA, what it's like working with Shaq, why does Kenny run like that? My question is, at episode 100, have you reached the point where people come up to you and the first question or comment they say to you is about the podcast? Like, that's what they lead with. Also, do you know any athletes or celebrities who are listeners to the podcast like we all are? Talk to you guys soon.
You know what? Where were we last year for the Eastern Conference Finals? We were in Boston
and
Miami. And I'm going to get coffee in Boston and was stopped. And a woman said, "Oh, can I take a selfie?" Sure. I listen to the Steam Room every time. And I was like, well, that's one of the rare times that it wasn't a, hey, inside the NBA kind of a thing. It was listen to the Steam Room all the time. So yes, it happens.
It happens.
Mr. Richardson.
Well, one thing that's really, really stupid, I'm not going to lie. Every day, all day, no matter what time of year, where's Ernie? Where's Kenny?
I know.
Where's Shaq? Yeah, man, we don't live together, fool. We just work together.
I get that all the time, too.
I was like, damn, we work together. We don't, like.
Hey, where's Shaq? And people think it's like the first time you've ever heard it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Ernie, hey, where's Charles?
Arizona?
There's not enough food here. He's not here.
Yeah. It makes me laugh every time. Sometimes I be thinking, they're in my pocket. I just bring them out on the show.
Yeah. You just see him when you go to Ernie's in Scottsdale.
That's right. But it's so funny, man, because, but people, we really appreciate the support on the podcast and obviously on our TV show. But I get a kick out of it. You're right. Every time, like, where the guys at?
Like, we're inseparable.
Yeah, I know. Like, we just work together. We don't live together. We actually live in.
But what if we did live together?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wild? What if we all shared a house?
We can't share a house with Shaq. He's an animal.
Yeah.
The dude don't flush the toilet.
That's true. That's a deal breaker. Next call.
Chuck and Ernie, this is Harry Myrie congratulating and thanking you both for 100 episodes of the Steam Room.
The great drummer.
We're talking 100, first of all. It's 100 answering machines. 100 times Chuck did not watch Whiplash. Hundreds of Krispy Kreme donuts. I think there was 2 Georgia national titles in there. And perhaps most personally meaningful to me, 100 drum sets successfully donated to 100 schools. The world is fuller than ever with joyful noise because of y'all's hijinks and generosity, man. So as I hang up here, while we're on a sentimental note, a question I've always wanted to ask you both is, what is a crowning moment you can remember on the court, or Ernie, in your case, on the baseball field, from any time in your sports journey? Doesn't have to be at the highest level. You could have been 6 years old in Little League. Any sport. All right. Congrats to you two, Producer Cap, and all you sweet hooligans behind the scenes in the Steam Room. See ya.
Well, first, I want to make sure my man who called earlier, thank him for being a teacher.
Yes, Mr. Richardson.
Yeah. Thank you for being a teacher. Harry, man, it was an honor to donate those 100 drum sets, give these kids an opportunity. That was cool. Well, in fairness, to be honest, it's different at every level. Your success, which is a great moment. Like, I remember the first time I got our team to the state tournament in Leeds.
Yeah.
Because my team, our school had never been to the state tournament. And we got beat every year when I was younger. And it was, sports mean a big deal in these small towns. And when we finally got to the state tournament, that was really a great moment for me personally and our whole city. And then when I got to Auburn had never made it to the tournament. And when we finally got there, I was so excited. Said they never say Auburn's never been to March Madness. As far as the NBA, man, the first night you go to the NBA, it's like you're on cloud 9. And like all the hard work, all the effort, especially if you know you're going to make it. Like most first-round draft picks are going to make it. So that was such a great feeling. And, and obviously I didn't win a championship, but I will tell you this, and it doesn't matter what I say because people are not going to believe me. Even if I had won a championship, that would have been amazing. But the dream team, when you're standing there and they're playing the national anthem, it is one of the most amazing feelings. Like, we were looking at each other like, man, I got goosebumps. Like, when you represent your country and they're playing that anthem when you win the gold medal, it is one of the coolest, most amazing things I've ever felt in my life.
And, that is the percentage of folks who can say that these are crowning moments in their athletic careers is so small.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in such a select group that for the vast majority of the listeners of the Steam Room, nobody can touch that. Nobody can relate to that. Most of the folks are more like me, who loved sports, loved to play them growing up, and then had to get real jobs eventually in our lives. But you know what? To answer Harry's question, when I'm in 7th grade playing for St. Jude's, and we're in the championship game of our league against Westminster, and my dad's the coach of our basketball team. And it was the championship game, under like 5 seconds to go in the game. They foul me on purpose. I hadn't scored in the game. We had 3 guys who could shoot the lights out. So the Westminster coach was afraid one of those guys is going to beat us. This big kid on the other team picks me up off the ground at center court to send me to the free throw line. Bang, bang. 2 free throws. We won the game.
That's awesome.
And it was unbelievable. And you know why it was cool? Because it was like my dad was a coach, and we had gone to the championship game, and we beat these guys, and it was hitting 2 free throws under pressure.
You know, I want to piggyback on something Ernie said also. Success. Too many people, success comes in many different ways. It's not how much money you make. It's not how big your house is. Not how many cars you got. When I speak to young kids, I always tell them, I say, it's called self-esteem for a reason. You have to be at peace with yourself. If you're sitting around worrying about what everybody else think, your head's going to be on a swivel and you're never going to be happy. Like, if you're a secretary, be the best secretary. If you're a garbage man, be the best garbage man. That's success. It ain't about your bank account and how big your house is. I think that's one of the problems we've gotten really away from. It's been going on forever, but everybody's not going to be rich and famous and play in the NFL or the NBA or whatever. But at some point as a person, you'd be like, I'm good with my life. Like, I'm a terrific cameraman.
This is what I want. I'm doing what I
want to do. I'm
excelling
happy.
At it. Yeah.
I'm healthy. And until you get that self-esteem and be at peace with yourself, you're never going to be happy.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Well, that's pretty good.
It is. I mean, it's not my original thought. I'm just parroting that, but it's true, man. If you don't have, if all you're going to do is comparison, if all you're going to do is compare to what somebody else is doing,
you're going to go
crazy.
It's
steal your joy.
You steal your joy.
All right, next.
Yes, hello. This is Ben Spitalnik, friend of Ernie's, colleagues of Charles. You referenced me on the last Steam Room, and I believe Charles called me some sort of Halloween costume, perhaps a troll. Just calling to say I feel as though that was unprovoked and flat out unkind. I'm 5'10", which apparently is a troll's height. Just wanted to leave a message to Charles, standing up to bullying. I'm also going to take up for my guy Shaquille O'Neal, since you're always ragging on him for riding Kobe and Dwayne's coattails. Let me congratulate you on 100 shows, Ernie. Chuck, we know you're just riding Ernie Johnson's Hall of Fame coattails. It's fine, though. I'm fine. The whole thing's fine. It's not like my kids call me Daddy Troll or anything now. Congrats on the milestone, fellas. Super impressive.
Wow, Ben, thank you so much.
First of all, he must have on pumps and some heels. Ben ain't 5'10".
Well, I don't know if he's wearing pumps and heels.
If he's trying to skate to 5'10", he is. Ben is not 5'10".
All right.
I've been working with Ben for many years. 5'10", he got some platforms, some pumps, or some Doc Martens. There's no way he's 5'10". Now, I will admit this. Ben, yeah, I can't say anything positive about Ben.
I can't. You know what? I went to his son's bar mitzvah Saturday.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to Jacob's bar mitzvah, and it was awesome, and a very cool event.
Well, I guess I got to check my mail. My invitation.
I'm sure you were invited. It's probably kind of like those texts that TK sends you that you disregard.
I can go. I got Ben in here.
Yeah.
I can go back and see if there was an invitation lost.
It was a physical, like through the mail invitation.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah,
it's in my trash, unfortunately. So I had to
Why would it go into your trash?
Because I had to start throwing all my mail away. Because there's nobody sending me stuff that's important. That would always.
I mean, like a bar mitzvah invitation from a coworker?
Well, he sees me every week. He could have told me in person.
Oh, this is also true.
I was getting so much mail at the house because people started sending stuff to sign. So about 4 or 5 years ago, I said, hey, just take it right to the dumpster. Because if it's something important, they would call my girl, Krista, who handles my life.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Krista Guthrie. But yeah, I was getting like boxes and boxes of crap because people think I'm going to sign stuff on my off time. So I made a deal with the post office. Hey, take this stuff right to the trash. Don't even bring it to the house. Because they're like, Mr. Barker, you get a lot of mail. I said, yeah.
So anything going through the mail
is going to go in the trash.
Immediately going into the trash.
Yes, sir.
What a concept.
Ernie, you can't be sent, I always sign autographs and take pictures.
It's everything?
Everything. There's nothing important coming to my house.
Bills?
They go to Christie.
Okay.
But I can't be having all that crap. Like, no, I'm not signing all this stuff. Now, you know, I'm going to always sign autographs and take pictures if I meet you in public.
You're right.
But you can't be sending me stuff to the house.
Yeah.
That's going right in the trash.
Yeah.
Started like 5 years ago. So if you send anything to my house 5 years ago, go to the nearest landfill. You can find it.
Hey, thanks, Ben Spitalnik, for the great 100th episode
5, 10.
wishes. Thanks to all those who called into Chuck's answering
thank
machine.
you.
And thank you, Chuckster. This has been awesome, and it just continues. We have 100 episodes of the Steam Room.
I'm gonna get President Obama on here.
Well, you do that.
I told you.
You do that.
Yeah.
I'm
Reggie
still,
Love, pick it up a little bit.
I'm still holding out hope that Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso, will join us.
Well, you know, he got free time now because the show's over, right?
Awesome, though.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, it would be wonderful to be able to speak to him.
It ain't
about,
like he got anything else to do right now.
I wouldn't.
Come on, Jason.
I wouldn't know what somebody's schedule is.
Well, he got no show now, so he's unemployed.
Probably working on something. Probably has several projects in the hopper.
Well, that's probably true.
Yeah.
I mean, well, first of all, that's a lie. They've been on strike.
But they're off.
Yeah, well, they just got off, so he's been free. So he got nothing in the hopper.
Doesn't mean you can't think while you're not working.
Well, Shaq does it.
Excellent point. Okay. That's the Steam Room, episode 100.
100.
And we will continue season 5 next week, Thanksgiving week. Think of things you're thankful for, Chuckster. Let's run through some things we're thankful for next week on the Thanksgiving edition of the Steam Room.
Let's do it.
Yeah, think hard about that.
I don't have to think hard about it. I'm thinking about them 2 deep fried turkeys for baby K's.